Today we're going to be looking at some jank Magic the Gathering combos that actually work. We're going to start off with a fantastic suggestion by Kano. I got this. The Daro Spiritualist, Nomad's Encore, and Jaws of Defeat. Jaws of Defeat is a very interesting card for 4 mana. It's an enchantment, and whenever a creature you control enters, target opponent loses life equal to the difference between that creature's power and its toughness. Well, that's interesting. Are we going to put into play like a giant 0/20 creature? A 20/0 creature? No, absolutely not. We're going to engineer something enormous. There is something called Nomad's Encore. For a white, it's a 1/1 and has the very special activated ability for 0. The next 1 damage that would be dealt to Nomad's Encore this turn is dealt to target creature you control. Well, that's interesting. Now, how are we going to use this? With Daru Spiritualist. For 2 mana, it's a 1/1, and whenever a cleric you control becomes the target of a spell or ability, it gets +0/+2 until end of turn. So the whole deal is, if the Daru Spiritualist enters the battlefield, it's going to trigger the Jaws of Defeat. And with the Jaws of Defeat on the stack, you activate the Nomad's Encore an infinite number of times to make this thing a billion. So not a one, no, 1 and with a 1 billion toughness to deal an entire 1 billion damage to your opponent. I think it was a very fantastic combo. Now, remember the rules, everyone. 2 or 3 card combos is fine for me. And if two to 3 in chat is fine with me. But if it's 4 or more, you better make sure it's in the Discord. That's the rules for these combo shows. Next up, let's take a look at Indiana Jones, Drop a Honey, and Sorceress Queen. I'd never heard of this Sorceress Queen. There we go. Okay, so there's a 3 mana 1/1. Tap target creature other than Sorceress Queen is a 0/2 until end of turn. Other target creature. So we can't turn our own Sorceress Queen into a 0/2. Weird. And Drop a Honey for a green is an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, destroy the creature with the least power. It can't be regenerated. If 2 or more creatures are tied for least power, you choose one of them. When there are no creatures on the battlefield, just sacrifice your Drop a Honey. Oh, that's actually really cool. This is a really old style combo, but it's like really strong. I guess the only problem is the drop a honey part, because it's gonna take more than just a drop of your wallet to afford it. Look at this thing. It's $450. It's one of those reserve list cards. Do you know how much it costs to print it out? Nothing. For everything else, there's your HP inkjet printer, and so on. And then, wait, is this? This is not reserve list. There we go. Make as many Sorceress Queens as you want. Tap, and the creatures are 0/2s. You engineer exactly what's going to get destroyed by the Drop a Honey. I think it's fantastic. Rich says, just had some coffee. Awesome. I've had coffee all day. I should be more wired than I actually am. We got the Y Marvin project with Ezio free running. Ezio free. Is this the one? Ezio Blade of Vengeance. I don't see any free running one. Oh, is this the one? Is this the running one? You're not giving me the whole name to this card. And you want Vein Ripper. I know what Vein Ripper does. Hold on, let's get Vein Ripper up here. Maybe I can figure out which card you're looking for. Vein Ripper is the 6 mana 6/5 flying ward sack a creature, and whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. I don't know which Ezio you want. Whenever an assassin you control deals combat damage, draw a card. Oh, it has an ability of free running. Oh, I get it. Okay, so for 2 mana, it's a 3/2. This is the Ezio, the Auditor de Frenza, or whatever. Menace. Assassin spells you cast have free running of double black. You can cast a spell for its free running cost if you dealt combat damage to a player this turn with an assassin or a commander. When Ezio deals combat damage to a player, you may pay Wooburg. Now, if that player has 10 or less life, when you do, that player loses the game. I don't understand what the combo is here. If there even is a combo. Is there even an explanation to this thing? You may pay Wooburg if that player has 10 or less life. So you're just implying that if you have Vein Ripper, that they might be really low on life and you just finish them off. Honestly, not really a combo. Not in my opinion, anyway. Unless you can use a card that gets them down to the 10 life. Then that's a combo. Then that would be a combo to me. Attack Ezio Vein Ripper just costs 2 black. Oh, this is... Oh, you want it... Oh! You want to get the assassin in play. You may cast a spell for its free running cost if you dealt combat damage to a player this turn with an assassin or commander. An assassin spell you cast have free... Oh! That's a bit weird. That's more like... Okay, do you know what? Okay, do you know what? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. It's like a crappy show and tell in some capacity. Do you know what? I'll give it to you. I didn't look at that. You know, these cards have a lot of words on them. I assumed that you were trying to make something work with the lose the game part. I didn't know that you were just trying to cheat into play a Vein Ripper. It's actually weird to see Vein Ripper as an assassin. I would think it's like a vampire demon or something. Okay, works for me. Next is well, I'm just gonna grab one you randomly. We got Toilet Duck, one with the stars. You want to enchant a Devoted Druid. Devoted Druid becomes a non-creature that doesn't care about toughness, unlimited 1/1s, and unlimited green mana. Beautiful. I like a combo that's actually explained over here. Toilet Duck, did you have to pay more money to write more in the text box? I bet you didn't. You just used the free feature of chat to help me over here. Devoted Druid is a 2-mana 0/2 tapped out of green, but you can also put a -1/-1 counter on your Devoted Druid to untap the Devoted Druid. The problem is if you untap it twice, the thing is gonna die. All right. Unfortunately, Devoted Druid will go to the bucket. But we have one with stars, 4 mana. Enchant creature or enchantment. Enchanted permanent is an enchantment and loses all other card types. Oh! So it's not a creature anymore. So it's not a creature that can die, which means it's infinite for infinite green mana. I like it. It's a very nice combo. We got Funtley here. Heliod, Suncrown, Scurry Oak, Soul Warden. I'll give it to you. It's sort of bordering on a good combo. Heliod, Suncrowned. The 3-mana enchantment. Whenever you gain life, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and enchantment. Then we got Scurry Oak. The Scurry. How do I spell Scurry Oak? That's with a C. Then you got Scurry Oak over here. A 3-mana 1/2 with Evolve. And whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on the Scurry Oak, you create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. So this is one of the more jank cards over here. So we're not going to win immediately, but we do make infinite squirrels. But how do we even trigger the first life? Well, we do get the Soul Warden. Soul Warden, whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. So the Scurry Oak makes the squirrel. You gain a life. The gaining life triggers your Heliod to put a counter on something. You put it on the Scurry Oak. And by the way, the Scurry Oak is going to get infinitely big. It could be big Scurry Oak. Big. And you can always break the combo by putting the +1/+1 counter on like Soul Warden or something. Next up, Tresar's like, is this jank? Well, hopefully, probably enough. The Port Razor. Is that big red boar? No, it's not. And Mardu Siege Breaker. Okay, what's up here? Port Razor is a 5-mana 4/4 Orc Pirate. Deals combat damage to a player. Untap each creature you control. After this combat phase, there's an additional combat phase. And it can attack a player that's already attacked this turn. So how do we get more attacks? Maybe the Mardu Siegebreaker will help us. Another Death Touch Haster. And when it enters, exile up to one other target creature you control until this creature leaves the battlefield. When this creature attacks, for each opponent, create a tap token. That's a copy of the exiled card attacking that opponent. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice those tokens. So when it attacks, for each opponent, create a tap. So we get to untap and we get to attack with these things all over again. So we get like, is there like a bigger thing? I mean, this is a lot of damage. Don't get me wrong. So, exile up to one other target creature you control until this creature leaves the battlefield. We're not exiling the Port Razor, are we? How does this one work? If there's something bigger to this than I understand. It's very funny. Enters, exile up to one other target creature you control until this creature leaves the battlefield. Deals combat damage to player. Untap each creature after this. There's an additional combat phase, but this thing can't attack a player that already attacked. It's like, would you eat the thing? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. Okay, Port Razor goes infinite with a bag of chips. Wouldn't call that jank. But whoa, how does it go infinite? I don't even know how this specific combo goes infinite. So you exile the Port Razor, create tap tokens of Port Razor for each opponent. Oh! I thought we're making extra copies of Mardu Siegebreaker. Reading the card explains the card. All right. It looks good to me. Next combo, less than. Aang. Master of Elements. Ooh, it's a new. This is like a complete new combo. And then Searing Torch. So wait, Searing Touch, not Torch. It's jank because it's so hard to transform Aang. Okay. So we have Avatar Aang. Flying, firebending 2, and whenever you waterbend, earthbend, firebend, and airbend, oh my god, those are 4 separate mechanics. Draw a card. Then if you've done all 4 this turn, you get to transform your Aang, and we're just going to transform into the Master of Elements, a 6/6 flyer. Spells you cast cost Wooburg less to cast. At the beginning of each upkeep, you may transform Aang, Master of Elements. If you do, you gain 4 life. Draw 4 cards, put 4 +1/+1 counters on him, and he deals 4 damage to each opponent. So what are we going to do with the transform side? Searing Touch. Searing Touch deals 1 damage to target creature or player, and it's got buyback of 4. What the hell does this do with this card? Spells you cast cost Wooburg less to cast. But it can... Oh, it very specifically says this can reduce generic costs. So you transform this legendary Avatar ally so that you can deal 1 damage for for nothing. Oh, it's infinite. Oh, so you actually pays. Okay, so we got the red, and the rest pays for the colorless. Okay, that's infinite damage. That one works big time. Looks good to me. Okay, we have Eldraman with here you go. Give you your super chat sound effect. Sib-Sig Ceremony ×2. And Junk Diver Cloud Key. Is there a card called Cloud Key? For extra credit, Aetherflux Reservoir? Do we not need extra credit around here? Okay, the Ceremony is a triple black enchantment. Creature spells cost 2 less to cast. Whenever a creature you control enters, if you cast it, destroy that creature. Then create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. So if we cast creatures, whenever a creature you control cast... Oh, I see, yeah. Whenever we're destroying our own creatures, basically, replacing them with druids. Then we got the Junk Diver for 3 mana. It's a 1/1. And when it dies, and it will, return another target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. And I assume the card we're going to bring back is the Cloud Key. As this artifact enters, choose artifact, creature, enchantment, instant, or sorcery. Spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. I assume the idea is you want to get a creature to cost 1 less. And return another, and then you bounce the Junk Divers over and over again for oh yeah, it's gonna cost nothing. So this one makes them cost 1 less, and this one costs 2 less. So your Junk Divers just bounce back and forth for infinite ETBs and death triggers. Oh yeah, and the infinite druids. You get infinite druids as well. Next up, Benjamin Berkey with Starksteel Forge. Mixen's Lattice. What is going on here? And Navineral's Disc. No, I don't know how to spell Navineral's Disc. How do I spell Navinral's disc? You know what? You probably could help me. Where's your thing? Navinral. You're not spelling it either. How do we spell Navinral's disc? Am I even spelling this right? Was the D? It was D-I-S-K, wasn't it? There's only one disc in this game. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is simple. Artifacts you control have indestructible. Everything in play is an artifact. But guess what? Our opponent's artifacts are not indestructible. And we'll blow everything up. They're all getting blown up. I like it. It's a one-sided board wipe. There's a lot worse things you could do with a Mycosynth Lattice on the battlefield. This is a more fun one. Steve Cooper, you're a very special person. You know how to spell Navinral's disc off the top of your head. Larry Nevin backwards. That doesn't help me in the moment, Argentina. That doesn't help at all, in fact. Next super chat from Pacers Fan Forever. Ooh, we have a Right of Replication super chat. With kicker, Reign of Embers. And Venerated Rot Priest. You're gonna get them by poison. You're gonna poison them out. Okay, the Rot Priest is a green 1/2 toxic 1 creature, and whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, or target opponent gets a poison counter. So the more stuff you target, the more poison they get. Remember, you do have to target your own creatures, though. The Reign of Embers, a 2-mana sorcery. Reign of Embers deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. What? I thought we were gonna poison them out. I thought we were gonna what the hell happened? You named Reign of Embers, right? Okay, Right of Replication for 4 mana, with a kicker of 5, and we are kicking it. Create a token that's a copy of target creature. If the spell was kicked, create 5 of those tokens instead. So we're making 1,000,000 Venerated Rot Priests. Reign of Ember deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison count. I don't get the Reign of Embers thing. Reign of Embers. Do you have the right card? Steve Cooper is like, no, I can just copy and paste from Scryfall. You're fast then. But you have to look it up first. You have to know something. Does not work. Yeah, I don't understand the Reign of... I don't get this card at all. And even if you could target, which this card doesn't, by the way. It doesn't target the Raw Priest, though. That's your problem, Steve, Pacers Fan Forever. I'm going to have to donate your super chat. Reign of Embers deals 1 damage if we look at the Oracle text. It does not... There's no word target. Target does not exist here whatsoever. It is a bad Magic the Gathering combo that does not work. Probably needs some replacement card. I mean, the combo's basically there. But not quite. Bulky, you're going to get the super chat. Where are you, Bulky? Quorum. Quorum Trench Gnomes. Radiant Performer. What? You're going to make this card work? Take that, white players. Okay, this is an old card. It's super old. It's also a weird reserve list card. 4 mana for a 1/1. Tap target planes produces wastes instead of colorless until the end of the game. Basically, you does it put counters? It produces colorless mana instead of white. This effect lasts indefinitely. There's actually no counter on the permanent. So it's just basically you turn planes into wastes. Now, how is this going to work with Radiant Performer? Now, for 5 mana, we have a 2/2 Human Wizard with Flash. When Radiant Performer enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, choose target spell or ability that targets only a single permanent or player. Copy that spell or ability for each other permanent or player that spell or ability could target. Each copy targets a different one of those permanents and players. That's beautiful. Yeah, basically anyone who's playing planes, they're screwed. Goodbye. Is there like a Yavimaya or Urborg for planes? I guess not. We would know about it right now. Toad's phone is spazzing out. See you next. We'll get another phone. Get on desktop, quick! Get on desktop, Toads. Voltlin. Ooh, a Carnage one. Carnage, Crimson. You know, over time, this is gonna get really weird. There's gonna be intellectual properties from all sorts of weird crap comboing. Like we're gonna have like Carnage combos with Captain Picard into SpongeBob for the like some weird, stupid combo. Okay, and then we need Glasspool Mimic and Impact Tremors. All right, let's take a look at this one. Does Carnage do again? Trample, return target creature. When it enters, return target creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains. This creature attacks each combat if able, and when the creature deals combat damage, you sack it. I forget what Mayhem does though. I wish at the bottom it explained the keywords. I don't remember. Okay, Glasspool Mimic. We're not gonna copy this, are we? Or are we? Enters, return target creature card, graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, can they like bounce off of each other? Is this infinite? When it enters, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you get a Glasspool Mimic. It's gonna copy Carnage. You get an ETB. They look at each other. It dies, but it still gets its ETB. When it enters, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less. That is weird. Then we have Impact Tremors with whenever a creature you control enters, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. That's quite beautiful, actually. Super, super beautiful. Yeah, copies and the legend rules it out. It would be gone. Dwarven Song would mostly work with the Rot Priest. Hold on, okay. Dwarven Song. Trying to save the last combo. Change the color of one or more target creatures you control. Target creatures to red until end of turn. You choose which and how many creatures are affected. That is a super jank way of doing it. So we're gonna make 1,000,000 copies of Rot Priest, and then or is there 1,000,000 copies of like Dwarven Song? Strange. Okay, that might work. Is this jank? Corbinek with repercussion and Blasphemous Act. Blasphemous Act. Deal 13 damage to everything. Repercussion. Whenever a creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to that creature's controller. Good God. Gonna get blasted in the face for 13 damage. Next, we got super chat from John, Hazel Brewmaster. Brewing things up just like John over here. Crypt rats. Eat rats from the yard. That's it? That's all we're doing? Hazel Brewmaster, 4 mana, 3. It's a squirrel. I don't think squirrels eat rats, though. When it enters or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard and create a food token. Foods you control have all activated abilities of the creatures. Oh, so it's like a weird... it's almost like, what's it called? Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Then we got the Crypt Rats. X. Crypt Rats deals X damage to each creature and each player. Spend only black mana on X. How does that help us? Foods you control have... Oh, it's a food. So you can't even kill this thing. So you can... It's basically, it makes your own pestilence. It's a permanent pestilence, though, because it actually won't... it won't leave the battlefield. Oh, that is fantastic. Great combo. Next, we've got... Okay, Dinglebag is very excited here. With Ramos. Dragon Engine. It's got to be in play. Then we have Case of the Uneaten. The Case of the Uneaten Feast. And then we have... you want a Tog? What the hell? Play, sack, repeat. A bad way to get infinite mana from Ramos. You just want infinite mana? Remove 5/+1/+1 counters from your Ramos. Add double Wooburg. Activate only once each turn. And whenever you cast the spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Ramos for each of the spell's colors. So we need to play. We need to keep casting this Atog. We need to keep casting the Atog. Is it when it enters the battlefield or when it's cast? It's whenever you cast a spell. So which mode here? Did you explain? Case, you did not. Solved. Okay, so solved. Sacrifice this case. Creature cards in your graveyard gain. You may cast this card from your graveyard until end of turn. Oh! So you cast your Atog, it's cast. Then you can sack an Atog. You're going to sacrifice itself. It ate itself to death. And every single time you sack it and then cast it, the Ramos gets a +1/+1 counter. That is like the most mana expensive way to get infinite mana. I have to say, this is a very, very expensive way to get infinite mana. But it works, I guess. Next, we got Dangerous One Super Chat. Thank you very much for your Super Chat. Glacial Chasm and Sundial of the Infinite. How is this worth? Sundial? Oh, like Sundial of the Infinite Seas. 2-mana artifact, pay 1, tap, end the turn, activate this ability only during your turn. A very nice card. How does that work with this? Glacial Chasm. Cumulative upkeep, pay 2 life. Oh, you just don't want to pay the 2 life? And then creatures you control can't attack, but prevent all damage that would be dealt to you. Okay. Yeah, you get no turn every turn, but you'd be like, okay, everyone, can you beat me? Because if it's only done with damage, well, it will not work. Prevent all damage that is dealt to you. Oh, sorry, I guess you could be beaten by Wasteland too. That actually works as well. Next up. Who doesn't have a card yet? Who doesn't have a combo yet? See, a lot of people in chat with a combo trying to get a second one before everyone else has got their fill. Okay, we have Arya with, I can never pronounce this. The Chthonian, is it Chthonian or Chthonian? Chthonian Nightmare. I've been pronouncing it Chthonian. And you want a Pitless Plunderer. Isn't that like the uncommon that acts like a rare? And then Teysa with any 2 creatures. Oh, okay, Teysa Karlov with any 2 creatures that cost a total of mana value 6 and a Blood Artist on the battlefield. That's a lie. Hey, you're breaking the rules here. 2 to 3 in the chat is fine for me, but 4 cards or more got to be in the Discord. It sort of rhymes. Okay, Chthonian Nightmare. I don't even know how this works. Pay X, sack a creature, return Chthonian Nightmare to its owner's hand, return target creature card to, with mana value X or from your graveyard to the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery. And also there's like, there's other magical creatures that are supposed to be on the battlefield with your Teysa. It's supposed to be similar to... Oh, that really helps me, Benjamin. That really helps me. Oh yeah, now I know. Okay, we have the Pitless Plunderer, a 1/4. Whenever another creature you control dies, create a treasure token. So I have a feeling we're going to make some treasures with our Chthonian Nightmare. And then we have Teysa. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. 2 treasure tokens. Creature tokens you control have vigilance and lifelink. And then somehow Blood Art. Oh, and then we get double the Blood Artist. Does this go infinite? I don't get this one, Arya. So how does it go? How does we go infinite with a Blood Artist on the battlefield? So we also get double the energy, right? When it enters the battlefield, you get. Well, I guess if this thing came out last, we would get 6. Pay X, sack a creature, return it back to the hand, and we get return Chthonian Nightmare to its owner's hand. Return target creature card. Oh no, we don't get double the energy. That's a death trigger thing. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent to trigger, you get an additional trigger. So wait, you get 2 cards or something? This needs a lot of explanation for me. Explanation I do not have. See, that's the point of the Discord. In the Discord, you can explain 4-card combos. 4-card too complicated. Too complicated. So I need 3 or less. Well, I guess there are no 1-card combos. There are no 1-card combos. All right, next up, let's take I'll take one from what the hell? Intruder Alarm and Splinter Twin. Does that even matter? Creatures don't. Whenever a creature comes into play, untap all creatures with this Splinter Twin. I mean, I guess this is when tap, put a token onto the battlefield. No, I have this. You know what's weird? Splinter Twin has been around for forever. So has Intruder Alarm. I have never heard anyone try to put these two together. You do have a creature they have to put on, so it's basically Splinter Twin on top of any creature, plus Intruder Alarm will make infinite fast creatures. It does work. You might even argue that it's good. How did that I've never heard of that combo. It's like someone mixing how do I put it? It's like someone putting Jello in the spaghetti. Like, I like my Jello, I like my spaghetti. They're both great things, but putting them together, I don't know. But maybe it works. They are played together in Izzet Commander decks. Yes, sometimes. Someone might have accidentally made this thing. Okay, Arya is going to explain the combo. Yeah, you better. 2 treasures pay for replaying the Chthonian Nightmare. Oh, so that you can do this all over again. Ah, okay. Thank you very much for that explanation. That is very important information. So the 2 treasures that we get from the Pitiless Plunderer end up paying for the 2 mana for the Chthonian Nightmare to keep this chain going an infinite number of times. Thanks to our Teysa, Karlov, and of course, after we sack the creatures, the Blood Artist is going to finish everybody off. Okay, we're going to look at more amazingly terrible combos, but you know where you go buy those combos from? You get them from Fusion Gaming Online. You know why? Because I'm an influencer, and I'm supposed to influence you to buy from them. This is where I would get my combos. Deal of the week, 20% off old board games. Is it really still that deal of the week? What's the deal of the week this week? No, it's still board games. Not to mention you get other singles, the most beautiful Spider-Man cards, Edge of Eternities, Final Fantasy, and Avatar. And as we just saw, there are Avatar combos coming out. But the best combo of all combos is using coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Play as many combos as you want. Play as many decks as you want. As many combinations of decks as you want. As a combination of formats. I think I've comboed you all out. When you're renting the cards with Mana Traders, you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription using coupon code Nikachu_EFC. And we're going to get back to our beautiful combos by all you fine coffee crew. Okay, super chat time. We got one from... we have another Sundial combo. Sundial the Infinite. And Sneak Attack? Yes, it will work. That's a very funny combo, actually. Okay, so the idea is... Okay, so let's look at Sneak Attack. Pay a red. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. It gains haste, but you have to sack it at the end step. But we're never going to get to that end step. We're just going to keep it with the Sundial the Infinite. So we're just going to end the turn and keep the creature. You can actually also, I believe you can activate it with the trigger on the stack too. So you can wait to your end step to get your other end of turn triggers, if there are any. And then when you stack your triggers, make sure the losing your creature is at the bottom. And then with that on the stack, you activate the Sundial. Well, it's still technically your turn. It didn't say you have to activate this at sorcery speed. You can do this whenever you want. Okay, Argentina doesn't have a combo. Pursuit of Knowledge. Brainstorm? Green Needle. Does anyone else call this thing Green Needle? While having no cards in hand for maximum benefit. Alright, Brainstorm, draw 3 cards, put 2 back on top of your deck. But we're going to pursue more than that with the Pursuit of Knowledge. 4 mana enchantment. Skip drawing a card, put a study counter on your Pursuit of Knowledge, remove 3 study counters, which we can do with the Brainstorm. Draw, sacrifice it. Oh, draw 7 cards! That's sick! Forget drawing 3 cards, putting 2 cards back on top. I'm gonna just draw 7 cards out of this damn thing. Lovely. Next up, we've got a Kano Super Chat. Omnipresent Imposter. That Brainstorm combo is awesome. It might even be the thumbnail of today's show. Alright, okay, it's a test card, but it's super chatted, so we're gonna allow it. You want to donate this thing? But you just got it. And to the End? Is there a card called The End? There's a million cards called The End. The end of this, the end of that. I hate looking up cards Like looking up Fury was very difficult for me because there's so many Fury cards. Where is the end? Oh, here it is. I found it. It's like a Where's Waldo problem. The end is a 4-mana instant. This costs 2 less to cast if your life total is 5 or less. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Search its controller's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that permanent and exile them. And then they draw a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. We have donate. What are we donating? We're probably donating this card. The Omnipresent Imposter. Oh my god! So it's the Omnipresent Imposter has all card names. And then when we when we play the end, we're gonna exile their entire deck. We're gonna look for every single card with the same name. That last card had all the names. David Sampson, Displacer Kitten. This is a jank combo. You want Lotus Petal and Tormod's Crypt. Hey, this is a lot of cards. Tormod's Crypt in play. Use it on your own graveyard. Karn, the Great Creator, use the -2 to get the Petal, and blink Karn to get Crypt. This is a 4-card combo. Okay, Lotus Petal, Tormod's Crypt. Do you know what I'm going to give you for this? Using Karn, the Great Creator to get Karn, the Great... Oh, Creator. I've never heard of anyone that uses Karn the Great Creator to get something from exile. So we have the -2. You may reveal an artifact card you own from outside the game, or choose a face-up artifact card you would own in exile. So what you want to do is so basically it's just a Tormod's Crypt. You just get to it doesn't need to be anything. Lotus Petal wasn't necessary. So you just Tormod's Crypt the graveyard. Or I guess you Tormod's Crypt your Lotus Petal, then you're going to replay your Lotus Petal. And then Displacer Kitten says, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. What are we blinking here? Use the -2 Petal in play, Lotus Petal in play, Tormod's Crypt, play it, use it on your own graveyard. Karn, use -2, get Petal, cast Petal to blink the card. Karn. Get the Crypt. How does it get the Crypt back? You got the... So you played... So here's the thing. Hey, you played Tormod's Crypt. You exiled Lotus Petal. Crypt is in the graveyard. You sacked it. There's something missing here. And then your Karn the Great Creator can get your Lotus Petal. You can cast the Lotus Petal. But then the Crypt in the end is in the graveyard. I don't think this works. I think you need to use something that's like exile this artifact, exile everything in the graveyard. Because right now you can't blink Karn and get Tormod's Crypt in the graveyard. The Crypt exiles itself. Oh, you're actually right. You know what? You're right. I saw you have to sack it in addition to its activate. That's part of the cost, and then it will exile itself. You know what? You're right. It doesn't feel that intuitive because I never sack my Tormod's Crypt on my own graveyard. It's usually on my opponent's graveyard. Okay, that's a good catch. So you sack it to pay the cost, you get the ability, and it sacks itself, and then you can do this all over again. Fascinating. It's very, very fascinating. What does it do? You have infinite ETBs of artifacts? Like I'm just thinking right now, like this doesn't do anything. Okay, next up, let's get Snowy Neko, Toph, the first Metal Bender, Eon Engine. Already Earthbended plus Unwinding Clock. Me and another player get all the turns. I love the explanation. Instead of giving me these 3 random cards, I don't know what the hell is going on here. Okay, Toph. You said non-token artifacts you control are lands in addition to their other types, and at the beginning of your end step, Earthbend 2. So a target land you control becomes a 0/0 creature. It gets haste and put 2+1/+1 counters on it. When it dies or gets exiled, return it to the battlefield tapped. Eon Engine enters the battlefield tapped. Tap, exile Eon Engine, reverse the game's turn order. Oh, so you're just gonna bounce between two players? Me and another player get all the turns? Ooh, that is deviously evil. Untap all artifacts you control during each other player's untap step. So basically, you get to reverse the order over and over again. As a battlefield, tap, exile Eon Engine, reverse. Oh no, but you have to exile this. So how do you prevent that? There are lands in addition to their other types. Target land you control becomes a 0/0 creature with haste. How does it come back? Untap all artifacts you control. Actually, how do you go infinite with this? Because it says tap, exile it to reverse the turn order. Non-token artifacts are lands. Maybe I don't understand the Earthbend. Earthbend returns it? Oh, when it dies or is exiled, return it to the battlefield tapped. That's right. Sick. I'm not used to Earthbend. You know, all mechanics don't make sense to me until I play against it. This is a new card. This card doesn't even exist yet. And people are making combos out of the damn thing. It doesn't even exist yet. Elixir with the super chat. Astral Dragon. And Machine God's Effigy. The Effigy? The hell is an effigy? Astral Dragon, flying, project image. When it enters, create 2 tokens that are copies of target non-creature permanent, except there are 3/3 dragon creatures in addition to their other types, and they have flying. So we're making a bunch of 3/3s. For a 4 mana, we have an artifact called the Machine God's Effigy. You may have Machine God's Effigy enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's an artifact, and it has tap, add a blue. It's not a creature. Add the tap, add a blue. You may have Machine God Effigy enters the battlefield as a copy of any creature. So we tapped, add a blue. Create 2 tokens that are copies of target non-creature permanents. So they become the Effigy? Huh? Except they're 3/3 dragons. There's something big here. I don't get it, though. And you can have this thing enter as a copy of a creature on the battlefield. So it can enter the battlefield as the Astral Dragon. Then the 2 tokens become copies of the Machine God's Effigy, which become copies of the Astral Dragon. We just make infinite tokens. That is so weird. Just as if you believe science, which I do, then you kind of don't exist because the universe isn't locally real. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Yeah, they copy each other. They're copycats of each other. All right, that's cool. That's pretty neat. That's a pretty neat combo. Next we've got, what is this from Bryce? Mox Diamond. Aetherflux Reservoir. And okay, this is the jank part of this. Noctis, Prince of Lucis. Let's get clear. Mox Diamond, ETB, discard land, add mana. Aetherflux Reservoir. You cast spell, you gain a life. Pay 50 life, deal 50 damage. Noctis, Prince of Lucis, 4 mana, 4/3 human noble, lifelink. You may cast artifact spells from your graveyard by paying 3 life in addition to paying their other costs. If you cast a spell this way, that artifact enters with a finality counter on it. You may cast artifact spells from your graveyard by paying 3 life. What does that have to do? Oh, you want to play your Mox Diamond over and over again? But you only gain 1 life when you cast the card. So you gain 1 life, then you have to pay 3. Does this even remotely work? Never discard a land, and I will never hit the field. You may cast artifact spells from your graveyard by paying 3 life in addition to paying their other costs. If you cast a spell this way, that artifact enters. I understand, but like, is it like pay 3 life on that 1 card and you can cast it infinitely? The Aetherflux counts every spell you cast this turn. Oh, I forgot it compounds. Right. Whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn. I forgot. It's a compounder. It's a big compounder. You'd be gaining way more life. You'll pay 3 life for 1 life. That's right, okay. I was just trying to figure out, you're paying 3 life to gain 1 life. The math doesn't check out on this whatsoever. You're gonna gain a lot of life. More life than you could possibly imagine. Okay, nice combo. Just my own clips with Kaya. Spirit's Justice. Kaya's gonna bring justice. We have Oger. Kazlam. Targeting graveyard, activating Kaya passive plus any token without summoning sickness. All right, so we have a random 1/1 squirrel token with haste. What is? Okay, you said you gave some instructions, which I really appreciate. The +2, I really appreciate that. There's a lot of words on this card. I'm not gonna read them all. +2, surveil 2, then exile a card from a graveyard. Are we exiling this thing? So target in graveyard, activating the Kaya passive. Okay, hold on. What the hell does this thing do? It's a 2-sided card too. Whenever Oger Chasm deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your library. You may put a creature card and or land card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. When it dies, return to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. Tap at a green for 3 mana. Am I reading this correctly? Plus Oger Chasm. This is Oger Chasm. Target in graveyard. Activating Kaya Kaya has a passive though. Okay, we gotta go back. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control and or creature cards in your graveyard are put into exile, you may choose a creature card from among them. Until end of turn, target token you control becomes a copy of it, except it has flying. Yeah, I don't think the land side matters either. So you turn a token into a flying 6/5 that cheats 1 or 2 cards from your library. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. So basically, we're turning a token into this 6/5 thing that gets value from this card. See, it's hard for me to tell if you're like going for big value or like there's some sort of infinite that I'm just completely missing here. Next up, we've got Hexenort. Volcano Helion, Coal Hauler Swine, and Platinum Angel. The only card I know about is Platinum Angel. Platinum Angel, 7 mana, 4/4 flyer. You can't lose the game. The opponents can't win the game. Coal Hauler Swine. It's hauling coal. That. Someone call the union. Okay, 6 mana for a 4/4. Whenever Coal Hauler Swine is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to each player. Oh my god. So basically, if you like poke the thing, well, I think that's the idea. It's like if one of these coals fall off and hits its head, it'll like spring all the coal over everybody. And then Volcano Helion, a 4 mana 6/5, has Echo of X, where X is the life total. Comes into play, it deals an amount of damage of your choice to you and target creature. The damage can't be prevented. Comes into play, it deals an amount of damage. So I can put anything on here. When it's dealt damage, deal that much damage to each player. Well, then I'll put 1 million on this thing. That's a lot of damage. And is it to each? Yeah, it's to each player. But that's okay because you don't die. You don't lose the game. You can't lose the game. Your opponents can't win the game. So so they just lose. Cool. And see why means no card yet. And I will absolutely prioritize the people who have not got a card yet. Pays a fan forever. You're gonna have to wait until the end of the show for your combos. I gotta get to the people who have no card yet. War Storm Surge. Tombstone Stairwell. And have a big enough graveyard. Just sit tight. Was that all? Okay, the Surge, 6 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. It's just Pandemonium, right? Tombstone. Why do I keep calling it Tombstone? I sound like an idiot. Tombstone Stairwell, 4 mana enchant world. Cumulative upkeep of 2 mana. Can you pay it? During each upkeep, each player puts into play a Tomb Spawn token for each summon card I can't read this. Screw the ancient scripture. It's going to confuse me. At the beginning of each upkeep, if this enchantment is on the battlefield, each player creates a 2/2 black zombie creature token with haste named Tomb Spawn for each creature card in their graveyard. At the beginning of each end step, and when this enchantment leaves the battlefield, destroy all tokens created with this enchantment. They can't be regenerated. So you just want to make a bunch of tokens and deal damage till everybody dies. Each player creates a 2/2 token with haste for each creature in their graveyard. All right, sit tight. Sit tight and deal a bunch of damage. They're gonna die eventually, one way or another. You love the combo shows, Pace. I find that people, they have their preferences for shows, that's for sure. Leon! Possibility Storm. Knowledge Pool and Rule of Law? I have a feeling this is a thing of nobody draws cards, nobody does anything. Okay, Rule of Law. One spell a turn. That's it. That's the law. Knowledge Pool. Whenever a player casts a spell from their hand, that player exiles it. And if the player does, they're not gonna have a choice. They can cast another non-land card exiled with Knowledge Pool without paying that card's mana cost. But it doesn't matter. They don't even get another turn. What's with the third card? You don't even need a third card. What the hell? What's the possibility? What does this card have to do with this? Whenever a player casts a spell from their hand, the player exiles it, then exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a card that shares a card type with it. So basically, either of these two cards can combo with Rule of Law. Are these really two-card combos? Whenever a player casts a spell from their hand, that player exiles it. If the player does, they can cast another card. They have to exile it, and then they have no choice. You can't cast more than one spell each turn. Activated abilities from here. That's it. Next up, oh boy. Oh boy. Is that a bowling alley in your avatar? I never actually paid close attention to it. We have Angel of Suffering, Kozilek, Butcher of Truth. That's it. It's got to be in the library. Okay, we got Big Eldrazi here. Big Eldrazi. Danger Eldrazi. Angel of Suffering for 5 mana, 5/3. Nightmare Angel. Flying. If damage would be dealt to you, prevent that damage and mill twice that many cards. Oh, so like you'll never, as long as you have a Kozilek Butcher of Truth in your deck, it will keep putting itself back on top. But at some point you draw it, don't you? If you be dealt damage, prevent that damage and mill twice that many cards. At some point, if you have one card left in your deck, it's going to be the Kozilek Butcher of Truth. I suppose if you just... Okay, it's a jank combo. The point is never get down to one card. Maybe if you have enough of these cards in your deck. Is that possible? Well, here's another thing. You have to have 7 cards in your hand. So when you draw this card for your turn, you can discard it to hand size. And when Kozilek Butcher of Truth is put into a graveyard from anywhere, you shuffle it back into your library. There, I fixed it. That'll work. That'll work great. Rule of Law can be a backbreaker. It's also a friend loser. Lose the friends. It's a thumbnail from a video I uploaded ages ago. Never bothered to change it. Oh yeah, okay. I didn't know you were a YouTuber, old boy. I didn't know. I should check out some old boy videos. Next up, Bryce, you got a card too. I'm gonna wait. You super chats can wait to the end of the show. Who else didn't get a combo yet? I don't think Sergio got a combo. Wrathful Raptors. What a name. The Wrathful. That sounds like a basketball or hockey name or something. Or the basketball or football. The Wrathful Raptors. Whatever. What else is in this thing? Guilty Conscience. And you want to equip it to Zetalpa. Okay, Zetalpa, flying double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible, enchanted by Guilty Conscience. So whenever enchanted creature deals damage, it deals that much damage to enchanted. Hold on, whenever enchanted creature deals damage, it'll deal damage to the enchanted creature, but it's indestructible. And then the Wrathful Raptor says whenever a dinosaur, by the way, these are dinosaurs, you control has dealt damage, deals that much damage to any target that isn't a dinosaur. So this is a really clunky way of getting double strike. So when Zatalpa deals damage, it's going to deal damage to itself, which is going to deal damage to you again. Read Kozilek's last ability again. Oh, did I misread your combo? When Kozilek is put into a graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles their graveyard into their library. Oh! Oh! That's right. Okay, I didn't fix anything. I'm confusing this with, I guess, is it Emrakul? No, Emrakul shuffles the entire graveyard too. Who am I confusing? World Spine Worm? Does World Spine Worm have that ability? What am I thinking of? It only puts the one card. Is basketball popular in Canada? Popular enough. I wouldn't know. I'm not a deep basketball person. Okay, your combo works so much better, old boy. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong. For the 100th millionth time. Well, I'm thinking of Blightsteel. Thanks, Noah Neko. Liquid Soulful I want to get in here at the last second. Teysa. Orzhov. Scion. Darkest Hour. Any sack outlet. I like that. Okay. I like that type of description. For a black. All creatures, they're black. They've joined the dark side. Teysa says sacrifice 3 white creatures. Exile target creature. Whenever another black creature you control dies, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. And with that sack outlet, we're not making white creatures, we're making the black creatures. And we can keep sacking them to exile target creature. And we're going to win the game easily. Almond with Isilu. Chariot of Twilight, whatever the hell that is. Blood Pet. Metallic Mimic. A lot of weak cards in here. Metallic Mimic choosing Thrall, making infinite mana. What the hell does this thing do? Hold on, did I miss Metallic Mimic? No, I didn't. They got a new art for Metallic Mimic. So when this creature enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. It's the creature type, and each creature you control with the chosen type enters with an additional +1/+1 counter. Are we gonna name Thrall? Probably not. Thrall, sack it, add a black to your mana pool. Or maybe we are gonna name Thrall, because we're probably sacking and bringing it back. Creature spells you cast have Convoke. Your creatures can help cast those spells. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay a black. If you do, transform the Irdu. Turns into Isilu. Flying lifelink. Each other non-token creature you control has persist. At the beginning of your upkeep. Okay, so basically we have we're gonna have infinite mana because we're gonna name Thrall with the metallic Mimic. Blood Pet is gonna come into play with a +1/+1 counter, but it's gonna be negated by the persist -1/-1, so you can keep sacking this thing for infinite mana. It works. It does work. Who also has no card yet? Felicia. Mindslaver. Sounds like a rude combo. Trade Secrets. An emergency zone. How big of an emergency? There's no such thing as emergency zone. Maybe another zone? Oh, emergence zone. I didn't read properly. How the hell am I supposed to know this card is called emergence zone? Land, taps for a colorless, pay 1, tap, sack it. You may cast spells this turn as though they had flash. What, are you gonna flash in your Mindslaver? Trade Secrets. Target opponent draws 2 cards, then you draw up to 4 cards. That opponent may repeat this process as many times as they choose. Mindslaver, pay 4, tap, sack it. You control target player during that player's next turn. That's hilarious, actually. This is a very fun. It's a funny combo. That is very original. So we are going to copy. We're going to basically control somebody's turn, and we're going to force them to draw as many cards to their death, effectively. Nikachu not beating the allegations that he can't read. Well, I'm not disputing them either. At this point, I'm just not even gonna try. There's infinite hours of evidence on the internet. You could probably have a 48-hour reel of me just misreading cards at this point. They'll make YouTube videos out of it. Go to sleep from Nikachu MTG reading, misreading cards for 48 hours. It'll be a really long nap, too. Unironically, that is an amazing combo. I love it. Can we cast spells this turn as though they had flash? Basically, what's the point of this thing? Just to flash in your Mindslaver? I think it's an interesting combo enough to Mindslaver and play Trade Secrets. And then force them to draw their deck. How does this exactly work? Target opponent draws 2 cards, then you draw up to 4 cards. That opponent may repeat the process. Okay, so you can say 0. Oh, you just keep saying 0. Okay, I'm drawing 0. They keep drawing 2, and then they draw their entire deck to death until they've got no cards left. I should change that bingo space to Nikachu misinterprets card. Yeah, basically. Well, I mean, I gotta do a lot of shortcutting with these types of shows, you know? A ton of shortcutting. So when I read emergence, I just assume emergency zone. Okay, we'll do the last free one, Spectral Maniac with Kodama of the East. The East Tree. Togo. Who the hell is Togo? Togo, Goblin, Weaponsmith, and Gruul Turf. Gruul Turf. That's the only card I know. For infinite landfall triggers, Togo's rock token triggers Kodama to put Gruul Turf into play, and the land bounces itself. The land does bounce itself. ETB, return a land you control to its owner's hand. You're going to choose itself. So what does the other cards do? Kodama says whenever another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, if it wasn't put onto the battlefield with this ability, you may put a permanent card with equal or lesser converted mana cost from your hand onto the battlefield. So what you get? Like, what is this going to... Oh, I see. So the Gruul Turf is going to trigger this, but the Gruul Turf will resolve to bounce itself back first, and then you can put it into play with Kodama. And I guess Togo is just going to make use of the ETBs. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a colorless equipment artifact named Rock. You have infinite Rock. Togo, very proud of himself there. Congratulations, Togo. Very... sort of looks like he has the IQ of, like, I don't know, 50. And the Rock with equipped creature... Create a colorless equipment artifact token named Rock with equipped creature has pay 1, tap, sack it. This creature deals 1 damage to any target and equip for 1. Very primitive. Very primitive. Very primitive equipment. Yeah, biggest rock wins. That can't... The combo rocks. Okay, our super chats. I guess you waited long enough. Pacers fan forever. The Endstone and Platinum Empyrean. Does it really end? Oh, this is a new card. Very nice art, too. Platinum Empyrean. Platinum Empyrean, your life total can't change. But your win rate certainly can. Does it? You know what? It says your life total can't change. Usually you die anyway. The Endstone is a 7-mana legendary artifact. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card. Play a land or cast a spell, draw a card. At the beginning of your end step, your life total becomes half your starting life total rounded up. Oh, but it's not going to change. Thanks to Platinum Empyrean. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card. That's fantastic. This actually looks like a really strong card, even without the Platinum Empyrean. It's almost like a 1-card combo. Almond wants another one. Emery. Lurker of the Loch. Mirren Spy. That's a weird one. Lotus Petal. This is a lot of cards again. Mind Slaver. Well, you super chatted. Everyone scoops. Is it? So Mind Slaver, you take control of people's turns. Lotus Petal, sack it for mana. Mirren Spy. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may untap target creature. So the idea is we're going to activate Emery. Oh, just to get... Huh? What's the point of the Lotus Petal? So I assume that we're using Emery to just get our Mind Slaver back every turn? Because that's how it can work, right? Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may untap target creature. So you cast your Mind Slaver, you get an Emery, and you can do... Can you do this all over again? Oh, you make infinite mana with Lotus Petal first. Oh, neat. Not that that's necessary for the combo, right? Because you take control of your opponent's turn infinite. Oh, I guess if this is a multiplayer game, you'll want as many infinite mana, as many Mindslaver activations as you can get to gain control of everyone's turn. This is crazy. Whoops. Does everyone see what's going on here? So we can cast Lotus Petal infinite times from the graveyard, because every single time Lotus Petal comes into play, Emery will untap itself, and you can choose target artifact card in your graveyard and cast it. So infinite mana with Lotus Petal, and then when you have infinite mana, you can cast it Mindslaver an infinite number of times. If you control an opponent, can you make them forfeit? No, actually, you can't. That's one thing you can't. You would think that you can. Apparently, that's broken. You just control them. It's weird. It's like a clause. It's like, okay, you can control everything they do except, I guess, the match actions. Great question, though. Sorry, no more freebie combos. This show will go on forever. Next combo. Gotta wait next month. Lord Trevor coming in with money. Everyone's coming in with money now. No one wants to wait the next month. We do this once a month, and I can't believe it just comes so quickly. Here's a good one for Commander. Sun Forger. These are all Commander combos. Akroma's Will. Works wonders. Drinking a mocha today. Nice! You know what? Until I can get a hold of some sweetener, I'm putting Nutella in my coffee. It's not. What I'm doing right now, I can't drink protein powder every single day. For some reason, I can't sleep very well if I drink protein powder every day. So on every other day, I'm now taking my coffee. I put in a like a blender with ice, and then my sweetener is Nutella. It's delicious. Okay, Akroma's Will. Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast the spell, you can choose both. Creatures you control gain flying, vigilance, and double strike, or creatures you control gain lifelink, indestructible, and protection from all colors. If you control it, we're going to probably choose both, I bet. With Sun Forger? What? Equip creature gets +1/+0. Unattach it. Search your library for a red or white instant card with converted mana cost 4 or less, and cast that card without paying its mana cost. Oh! So we're gonna go get, huh? Shut. So I assume we need to have. Do we need to have a commander in play? I'm assuming a commander is in play. Creatures control game: flying, vigilance, double strike, lifelink, indestructible, protection from all colors. Is this just like a big play, or is there like a big or is there a big move here? Like, is there like some sort of big combo? I feel like it's just a big play, which is fine. You know, I'll count it. I'm sort of expecting some. There's so many words. I just assume it'll do even more. Next up, we're gonna take a card from Corbinick. Head games and worst fears. I like how you templated that. Head games, worst fears. Worst Fear is 8 mana, sorcery. You control target player during that player's next turn. Exile Worst Fears. It's another Mindslaver. Everyone wants to control everyone's turns these days. Head games for 5 mana, sorcery. Target opponent puts the cards from their hand on top of their library. Search that player's library for that many cards. That player puts those cards into their hand, then shuffles their library. You control target player during that player's next turn. So when do you play this card? Here's your problem. When do you play head games? Because it's a sorcery, which means you can't cast it this turn. You're not controlling... You're controlling the next player's turn. I think what you have to do is you need a card called Quicken so that you can play head games on their turn that you control, right? I think that's the only... that's the missing link to this card. Next up, we've got Bryce Norin the Wary. Confusion in the ranks. Norin the Wary is a coward. You're a coward, Norin the Wary. Every coward lives to see another day, though. Confusion in the ranks, 5 mana, enchantment. Whenever an artifact, creature, or enchantment comes into play, its controller chooses target permanent. Another player controls that shares a type with it. Exchange control of those permanents. Oh! So we're gonna put our Nor and the Wary in the play, and we're just gonna give it to them. Oh, does it come back into play under our control? Whenever a player plays a spell or creature attacks, remove Nor and Wary from the game. Return it to play under its owner's control at end of turn. So Nor and the Wary enters the battlefield. You swap it with a creature, and then whenever someone plays anything, no artifact creature enchantment comes into play. Hold on, how does this work? Whenever a player plays a spell, so I guess when I play a spell, it exiles. And then Nor and the Wary enters. Oh, so it's when Nor and the Wary enters the battlefield at end of turn is when we're gonna swap it with something else. They get the Nor and the Wary, and then whenever someone plays a spell, then the Nor and the Wary from them gets exiled. When it comes back into play, it goes back to us. This is pretty cool. How do you like throw this banger out at the very end of the show? This is pretty great. You get one creature. Yeah, one creature at a time. Comes into play. Its controller chooses target permanent another player controls that shares a card type. Exchange. So we just exchange the. So the thing is though, we exchange it once, but every single time someone plays a spell, it keeps exiling Nor and the Wary and comes back to us. And then when it enters the battlefield, we keep exchanging it with another creature. So basically, almost every single turn, we should be stealing something with the Nor and the Wary combo. It's pretty neat. Phaser's fan forever. Brash Taunter and Star of Extinction. The millionth Brash Taunter combo. Star of Extinction. Oh god. Brash Taunter is like, when it's dealt damage, deals that much damage to target opponent. Well, Star of Extinction, not going to extinct the Brash Taunter apparently. Apparently can suck it up. Dealing 20 damage to it. And of course, dealing 20 damage to all the opponents. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for all your combos. You have beautiful combos. Some really nice original ones there today. And as usual, we do this show at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Specifically, this combo show happens at least once a month. And by at least, I mean it happens once a month. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, thanks to everyone for your creative combos. People like Benjamin Berkey, Snowy Nako, Spectral Maniac, David. We got Bryce, Kano, Old Boy, Little Deadfly, Felly, Sia, Dinglebag, David Sampson, Just My Own Clip, Steve Cooper. Thanks for the stream. It was fun as always. Have a good one, everyone. And also Jess and many more. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees. And we are going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves. And we'll see you at the next cup.